We are back with the brand new video. What a heartbreaking loss, man. That was very, very tough to watch at the end. We're going to talk about this game against Portland. Heat lose 107 to 110 at home. And yeah, very tough loss without Tyler Hero, but still extremely tough loss. Heat fall to 4-7. Blazers improved to 7-3. Before we get into it, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I know you guys are gonna want to vent in the comment section below. Just whatever you guys want to say, drop it in the comments. I will be reading all of them and giving my thoughts in the next video about what you guys say. So yeah, anything you guys want to say about this loss, because I know a lot of people are gonna be heartbroken by this game. Yep, Heat lose by 3, game-winning shot by Josh Hart. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So we started this game off, obviously no Tyler Hero in this game, but I actually liked the way the Heat played in the first 3 quarters. I thought we played exceptionally well. We actually won, 2 of the quarters, and in the first quarter it was tied 28-28. It was just the fourth quarter that they really just, dominated at the end, and the Heat had actually built up like a pretty sizable lead, but unfortunately, the Blazers were able to, they were not missing in the fourth quarter, and they scored 37 points. We were just not able to get stops. So, yeah, I think that obviously it was a very tough game, but we're going to dissect it and just talk about what happened. I made a tweet, I think, before the game started saying, obviously this is no disrespect to Tyler, but I felt like, when Strus or Duncan or like a shooter, a stationary shooter who does not really need the ball in his hands and he's just gonna spot up and move around, I guess. I think the offense flows a lot better with just one of Kyle or Tyler. When you have a shooter replacing the other, because then they don't have to share the ball as much. They can have the ball in their hands and they can control the ball, and they don't have to worry about adjusting to playing with each other. So I predicted that the Heat were going to look a lot better offensively tonight, and they did for 3 quarters. It was just in the fourth quarter it was very frustrating because the Heat all of a sudden, because in the first 3 quarters the ball was moving exceptionally well, players were cutting, ball was moving, we were getting a lot of open shots. We actually could have knocked down a lot more threes than we did tonight. 36% is still solid, that's not a bad number, and that's definitely not the reason we lost. We definitely made 14 threes. We cannot be complaining about that, and we got great looks. We got extremely good looks from 3. Unfortunately, the Blazers shot 43% from 3. Incredible, shooting that hot from the 3-point line, especially in the fourth quarter. And yeah, it was tough because I'm not really sure why we went away from moving the ball in the fourth. We kind of everything just kind of started going stagnant, and I don't understand why we do this when we find success by doing one thing and then all of a sudden in the fourth. I know you want Jimmy to have the ball, but action and plays can still be run even if Jimmy Butler has the ball in his hands. You can still have screens and cuts and movement. In the fourth it was just everybody standing around, and credit Strus, he made an incredibly tough shot to tie the game, and I thought it was going to OT. Unfortunately, the Blazers, they were very, very smart. They did not call timeout. We did not have Caleb in the game. I don't think we had Gabe. I think it was Strus, Duncan, Jimmy, Kyle, and Bam. Yeah, unfortunately, we did not have Gabe or Caleb to enter in as defenders, so Dame was able to blow right past Duncan, and unfortunately Kyle had to help because Jimmy had gotten screened. Duncan was on Dame. Dame was blowing past him, and if Kyle did not help, Dame would have probably made a layup there. So I'm not blaming Kyle for helping off Josh Hart. It was totally not on him. Josh Hart made it 3. He was not contested. It was a fairly open 3, but you live with that because if you don't, Damian Lillard's probably going to hit a game-winning shot anyway. So the last play, sure, it happened because Duncan got blown by and someone had to help on Dame. And if Damian Lillard has the ball and he's driving at you, you're not just going to let him have an open layup. So they did the right thing. It was the right basketball play. You get the ball out of the best player's hands, and They forced a role player to beat them, and unfortunately, he was able to knock down a 3-point shot in the corner. But yeah, it was tough because I thought we should have had this one. And you're gonna see fans on Twitter saying, and this is what I don't understand. Heat fans, I love a lot of Heat fans, but there's some fans that I just cannot stand because, like, bro, it's almost like they're wanting the team to lose because every time we lose, it's like, told you so. Pat didn't do anything. We're washed. Like this, that. I know some people are trolling. There's some trolls out there. Blah blah blah. I'm talking about the people who are dead serious. Talking about, I'm not surprised because Pat didn't do anything in the offseason. Okay, that does not help. That does not contribute to anything. Like just saying that this roster is the same and all this, like, if we had won this game tonight, which we had a real possibility, no one was gonna say that. No, the only reason people have said that was because we lost the game on a game-winning shot. I thought we played really well tonight for 3 quarters, and in the fourth quarter, because of, I don't know why, we stopped playing zone and we stopped moving the ball. And those 2 reasons cost us the game. I don't know why we went back to man. We were having tremendous success. The Blazers, I mean, I have it here right now. They had 18 turnovers. We only had 10. We took care of the ball. They committed turnovers. We didn't even get, out-rebounded by that much. We got out-rebounded by 5. Like, I don't think that's anything big. Assists, we had more assists. We had more steals, same amount of blocks, more points in the paint. We had 2 more fouls. It came down to the 3-point shot for them. They hit 43% of their threes, and that is what happens, every time you're playing against a team in transition. We have been one of the worst transition defenses in this season. Terrible transition defense, and that happens when you fail to score on the opposite end. When the ball gets stagnant and you force up some shots, it allows the Blazers to get up transition easier, and you cannot play zone against a transition defense because you don't have time to set it, obviously. So I can understand why at some points we could not play zone, but even when the Blazers were in half court offense, I don't know why we didn't play zone, because we were having a lot of success with zone. Like, trust me, like, our zone was doing really well in the first 3 quarters. But yeah, just simply saying, oh, this team is not good enough. Like, I saw it coming. Like fans who say, oh my God, like, I told you so. Like people just want to be right, and it's like, bro, like, yeah, you're right. That's cool, but like it's not helping because like everybody is like at this point where, okay, we're 4-7. And we have to fix something, but instead of trying to figure out what we're fixing, people are saying, "Oh, I told you so," lost cause, like all this other stuff. It's only we're I think 11 games into the season, so we still have a lot of time. We just have to fix a lot of different things, and I think the starting backcourt is gonna have to be a conversation now because I know we lost this game, but we looked extremely good with Kyle and Strus as the backcourt, as we did last year. And I think, obviously, 14, Tyler is a much better player than Strus. But does he fit? Is that taking away from our bench? The fact that Tyler, is starting now. Does that limit bench scoring? I thought Gabe Vincent tonight had an incredible game. Him and Dedmon, I thought, played really well. Even Duncan at times hit some threes. And the bench really stepped up tonight with a couple of people down. But are we gonna have to start having conversations about the starting lineup? Because is the fit of Tyler and Kyle in question? Seeing how well Kyle played tonight and how well Strus played tonight, how well the starting unit in general played on offense until the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is when, for some reason, we went away from the movement and we started becoming stagnant and the ball just stuck for some reason. I don't know why. I don't really think it was because of the Blazers defense. I really just think it was because we try to just give the ball to Jimmy, everyone just get out of the way. I get it, that's what teams should do down the stretch. Like it's the best player taking shots, but you can still move and you can still cut. Like you can still have action while the best player has the ball in your hands. That's what I'm trying to say. Caleb, I thought Caleb had an okay game. People are still gonna be like, it's the power forward position. I get it. But replacing Caleb means you're taking away your best wing defender. Other than like Jimmy is also a really good wing defender. But I'm talking about like they place Caleb on the tough matchups. They put him on Dame. They put him on Steph. They put him on Fox. If you take Caleb out of that starting lineup, who are you replacing with him with defensively? Are you trying to have Jimmy, Chase, Dame, and Steph around? No. So it's like, it's not as simple of a fix as just replace Caleb with Yurtseven, because then who is guarding the perimeter? You're not gonna have Bam start on a point guard. Yeah, he'll switch onto them, but who's gonna be the point of attack defender? And that's what you have in Caleb. Even as much of a deficiency as his offense might be at times, defensively, I can argue he is a top 3 defender on this team. He is incredibly good defensively. So yeah, that's what I'm just trying to say, man. It's not panic time per se, because I still think, like, to be honest, like, I don't think I'm as upset as I would be if we like got blown out, because we played well. That's the thing. Like, I thought we played extremely well for 3 quarters, but so like, in my mind, we're improving, but we just cannot close games sometimes. Like, the fact that our last 6 games or 4 games or 5 games, whatever, have been all decided by game-winning shots is crazy. But we just got to close games better. We got to play as a unit defensively better for 4 quarters. We cannot afford to take 1 quarter off, especially against teams like Portland, who have firepower offensively. Lillard and Simons are extremely talented, and they have good role players around them, like Grant, Hart, even Justice had 12 himself tonight. So we did not help ourselves in the 4th. That obviously costed us the game. So heartbreaking loss for sure. Is it time to, trade everyone? No, I don't think anyone's going to be making calls after 11-10 games. Like, it's not going to happen. They're going to give this thing 20 games at least, in my opinion. I think after 20 games, if it doesn't work, sure. But we're going to wrap it up here, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comment section your thoughts.